Aquarius, hi. So this is going to be a reading for June 8th through the 14th. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Aquarius. The overall energy for the reading, the Knight of Cups. Heart open and all, things are looking good, at least on the surface here. But let's see what's going on. In the recent past, the Six of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. Something about you in there. There's a lot of self-love involved. There's a lot of something that you did that had to do with you and only you, and you feel so good about it. And then you're giving me a sense of, yeah, I've learned how to love myself, you know, which is quite big. In the current situation, the Six of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. Okay, there's a soul connection here. Things are looking to be building up. Things are looking to be working out. There is love here. There is involvement and investment in it. There seems to be a foundation that's building up and up and up. I don't know what kind of a soul connection. We could be talking about a friendship. We could be talking about a romantic situation. We could be talking about a work situation. I don't know. But it's looking good. In the immediate future, the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Six of Swords. You're coming in with quite the stubbornness to create some space between you and something else. But there's something in the way. It's almost like, but I can't do it, or I can't do it right now. You know, so, okay, let's clarify. Let's do the Knight of Cups. For the Knight of Cups, you get the Five of Swords, the Four of Cups, the King of Wands. Ooh, you're a little slick here, because there is love here, right? There's the energy of love, and then you're showing up saying, love my ass. Like, what? No. And you know that's not right. You know the energy of love is still there, but you still feel the need to kind of throw it out there, kind of like, no, there's not love. So something is pissing you off, apparently, but let's see. In the recent past, for the Six of Wands, you get the Hermit, the Emperor, the Nine of Swords. Something very hard that you have to do for yourself, but you're doing it. That's the thing. So it's you know what? When we do stuff for us, that's the hardest thing to do. So yeah, it's big. It's hard. It's, you know, stressing you out. It's like, oh my God, how do I stick with this, right? But then I see the accomplishment energy over it. So I'm like, you did it. I don't know what it was. No matter how challenging it was, you did it. There was a situation there in which you chose yourself. You put yourself first. And then you went ahead and, you know, whatever you needed to do. No matter how challenging it was. And it is looking like, yeah, tell me about it. For the Queen of Pentacles, in the recent past, you get the Three of Swords, the World card, the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you definitely removed yourself from a situation that was no longer good for you. The removing part, hey, I'm going to say goodbye to this. Very painful, very difficult, but so is staying with something that's not good for you, you know? Let's do the Page of Pentacles. I feel like this was your cherry on top when it came to really not just loving yourself, but going through with it, you know, through this whole process, sticking with that of, I'm going to put myself first. Page of Pentacles, in the recent past, you get the Knight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Justice card. Yeah. It's just sticking with your guns all the way through, you know, because the process of, okay, I'm going to say goodbye to something in my life. It's not as easy as I'm just going to say goodbye and that's it, right? It's going to take a while, depending on the circumstances. It may take months, it may take years. But like, you know, hanging on to the idea of I'm doing this for me is the hardest thing you could do, because it's very hard to stick with it, all the way to the end. There's going to be points in which you're going to be like, fuck it, I'm going to go back to whatever it was, because that's easier to deal with. At least I know what it's about, so whatever, So the consistency here is, when I look at what you're trying to tell me that you've learned the most, is how challenging it was to stay consistent, and how tempting it was to just get out of that, many times, like getting distracted. You're on this journey of, I gotta go there, and the one thing that's gonna hold me on this journey is about thinking about myself and putting my needs first. But then you see a fucking butterfly, and it's like, oh, but it's so pretty, I gotta go play with this butterfly, which takes you off that journey. So it takes you out of that intention, and it's like, yeah, tough journey. So this is basically you telling me, look, I've learned how to love myself, how to put myself first, but it's not easy, man. Like, no, it's not. One of the hardest things somebody can do. Let's do the Six of Cups in the current situation. You get the Six of Cups again, the Chariot, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, there's a soul connection here. When you look at it energetically speaking, it's like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. It's here. It's existing. It's running. It's fine. So then why are you pissed off there? Did you have an argument or something? And you're like, I don't know. Because it does seem to be like a pretty passing energy, one of those that comes in from after an argument or something, and it's like, oh yeah, you love me? Yeah, I saw that just 5 minutes ago. So it feels a little bit like that. For the Eight of Pentacles, you get the Two of Wands, the Death card, the Lovers. There's a little bit of something showing up. So as this builds up and everything is running its course, and it's like, okay, it's looking good. It's looking like this is going someplace. Somebody here, I don't know if you or them, but somebody here comes in with an expiration date over it. Like, yeah, it's going to work until that point, and then it's not going to. Kind of like everything ends. So, okay, but like, why look at it from that angle? Because while that angle is true, it's also false. Everything ends, but then there's continuation to everything, Nothing really ends. It depends on how we look at it, but I'm not going to be here debating that. It's just a sense of somebody throwing in that conviction that, hey, nothing lasts anyway, so we're going to live through this experience from that angle in which nothing lasts. So then how are you present with the experience itself and not with the energy of someday this is going to end? And I don't know who's doing this. I can't tell if it's you. I don't think it's you, though. You may be extreme in some ways, but not unless there's a contract on this. This is somebody you're working with, and you know that in 2 months, the contract is going to expire, and then that's that. Unless that's at play. Otherwise, it's just somebody's limiting belief that's limiting their experiences, basically. Let me do the Queen of Cups. In the current situation, you get the Six of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Judgment card. See, there's continuation. Somebody has a flow. One of you is coming in with the flow and just is in the present with this, and it's like, I don't know if this is going to end or when it's going to end, if it's going to end. I'm here to be with it for what it is right now, not for when it's going to end. But the other energy is doing exactly that. It's kind of limiting this whole experience without even realizing that they are. So, I don't know who's who. But approaching this from different angles, different views. It's like, when school is going to end, right? You have one more week and it's going to end. What's your energy when you go to school? Is it going to be as, oh my God, yeah, I'm here. I'm going to pay attention to every little thing like it was in the beginning? Probably not. You have one more week and you can't wait. You're going to think all about what you're going to do after it ends. It's different, the way we're going to show up in things, right? Depending on how we set ourselves up for those things. So if somebody is entering an experience that seems fresh and new and super nice, and they're entering from the mindset of, well, it's going to end anyway, how are they going to show up for that experience? Probably half at least of them, their energy cut off, because it's like, why would I put energy into this? You know? So I don't know, but yeah, approaching this from different angles for sure. For the Four of Pentacles in the immediate future, you get the King of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Seven of Wands. There's a struggle here, because it's like, while I care for something, I kind of have to let it go, you know? So this is you, I'm assuming, while you're kind of struggling here. Where again, you're showing up super deeply emotionally involved in something, but then not wanting to let that stand in the way of your decision here of potentially just pushing this away, whatever this is. I assume it has to do with this connection that I'm looking at here, because again, if two energies are functioning from opposite spectrums of whatever here, I don't see that lasting, you know? I don't see that going anywhere good. So unless one energy switches and gets in the same boat as the other one. For the Nine of Wands in the immediate future, you get the Ace of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Fool. Okay. You know you got to do something about something here. You know, not necessarily walk away or whatever. Not that, but something. Something's got to give here. And you know, because you're giving me that sense. Like, I know that something's got to be done here, and I'm going to be the one that has to do that. You're looking like you're kind of buying yourself some time here. I'm not sure. Because that's exactly how you're coming through. I'm going to do something about it, but not just now. I think it's because you're struggling a little bit with, being invested here, and at the same time knowing that this whole situation is kind of spitting you out, or whatever the case, and then it's like, okay, something needs to be done, because it's just not aligning 100% with your energy. For the Six of Swords in the immediate future, you get the Hierophant, the Seven of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. And if this is, it could be you, the one that enters this situation from the mindset of it's not going to last anyway, and here you go. You're setting yourself up exactly for this, if that's you. If it's not you, again, that type of a mindset is spitting you out, basically, from this whole thing. Because you're functioning from the opposite. You're functioning from, I want to be here, I want to experience this fully. While that other energy is there, but it's shut down. Because, it's going to end anyway, so why would they be there? Pointless. So regardless, there is a making your way out of this situation coming through for you in the near future. It's avoided a lot, which I'm not used to you avoiding things like this. But, until you kind of sort through your own clarity and your own process of going about this, I can understand why. But it is avoided. Even though the energy is very clear, it's leading you in the direction of I got to get the hell out of Dodge. Again, unless things change. Maybe that's why you're trying to buy some time. Maybe you believe somewhere that things might change. Who knows? Maybe they'll look into their limiting belief and they'll change it, and then they'll show up fully. I don't know. But from the universe for you, as a final advice, the Eight of Swords, the Sun, the Four of Wands. Yeah, because while on the surface everything looks good here, like I said, this connection looks okay. Everything's okay. Right? Everything's great. But think of it as someone that looks at it from the angle of it's not only looking okay, but it's growing somewhere nice. And as it grows, it's going to accumulate all sorts of things. So we're going to want maybe a nice house, maybe this, maybe that, maybe, I don't know what you're going to throw in there. But if you're dealing with an energy that enters this and from the first minute they're thinking, oh, it's not going to go anywhere, it's not going to last anyway, it's going to be done, then they don't have any plans for house, for nothing. They're just going to be there and do the exact same thing until it expires. Because it's going to anyway. So for right now, you are dealing with this soul connection. There is a commitment here that, again, on the surface, everything looks awesome. But it is kind of giving you a little bit of something about it is just not sitting right with you. And it's because of how you're entering the stage here, both of you. So, but anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.